What's up guys, Kim from UniPC, and today we're gonna take a look at this relatively new everyday laptop from Asus that has an OLED screen. Now, an OLED screen on a laptop is not new. What made this one a bit special is that currently it is the most cheapest OLED laptop available in the market as of 2023. One thing we know about OLED is that while it's one of the best screen technology out there, may kamahalan siyang gawin or bilhin. Kaya for sure, Asus made some compromises para maabot yung ganong kapamang presyo. Ang tanong, will those compromises make this just a glorified mobile theater, or can you actually do some real work in it? Medyo kakaiba yung boses ko today. That's because we're still recovering from cold, but the show must still go on, kaya please bear with me. Thank you. Starting with the unboxing, getting inside the packaging is very easy. You just need to cut one security tape, push the handle downwards, and lift the cover. Though if you want a bit more unboxing fanfare, you can take out your phone and scan the QR code right here and see some cool AR stuff. Inside, we have a very portable, teeny tiny 65-watt power brick. And it kind of reminds me of MacBook chargers, except you can't detach the wire. Wala nang ibang kasamang accessories sa loob, but Asus added this extra cardboard that you can cut and turn into a DIY laptop stand. I like DIY stuff, so this is kind of nice. Right here is our main character for today's video, and oh my god guys, it feels really light. The weight kind of reminds me of the big notebooks you use in school, so that's really good since bukod sa OLED, portability is one of their main selling points. Anyways, for specification, we have a Ryzen 5 7520U CPU, a 15.6-inch Full HD OLED display, 8GB of DDR5 memory, 512GB of storage, and a Windows 11 Home OS. As of October 2023, this laptop retails for 14,999 SRP, but available siya sa UniPC for as low as 37,000 pesos minus piso. So, the chassis is made of PC ABS plastics with matte black finish like what you can see on other laptops. But, katulad din doon sa ibang laptop, hindi siya ligtas sa fingerprints and smudges. So, excuse me na agad sa kung ano mang magiging itsura niya mamaya. So, I kind of like the way how they featured the logo. The raised tab looks really modern and unique. So overall, the aesthetic looks really classy and professional and should have no trouble fitting in a business setting. Underneath, we got some nice ventilation holes and you can see the fan and the heat pipe peeking through. And mukhang madali lang tanggalin yung kanyang bottom plate for upgrades and maintenance, so we're gonna confirm that later. The only issue I see here are the bottom firing speakers. Kasi sayang naman yung magandang audio mo kung matatakpan lang din naman ng bagay na pinagpatungan mo. So for the build quality, even though gawa siya sa plastic, it met the US military standard for durability. So Asus has a whole page explaining the test that they did on this laptop. You guys can check it out if you're curious. Kind of flex the top lid, but nothing too concerning since OLED screens tend to be much thinner than LCDs or LEDs. It does not open with one hand, and there's also quite a flex with the keyboard panel when I press and twist hard. Overall, ang sturdy naman ng feel niya. Ooh, merong shutter yung camera nila guys, so that's nice. So no need to worry about the government possibly spying on you. We also got a full-size keyboard with a number pad na hindi nagsisiksikan sa gilid, so that's nice. For me na maliit yung kamay, sakto lang yung size at distansya ng bawat keys sa isa't isa. The tactile feedback is also quite nice. The arrow keys are another story though. Aesthetically, it looks nice and uniform, pero in actual usage, medyo nakakaewan pumindot. Sanayan na lang siguro. Yung touchpad naman niya is on the smaller side, tapos gawa din sa plastic. Nothing remarkable with the texture aside that it's smooth, and I'm sure it would navigate just fine across the screen. It also has a fingerprint scanner for ease of access, which is a nice feature kahit na it took some space on the already small touchpad. By the way, I'm not sure if anybody still cares, but the stickers are pretty minimal. Over here, you have the sticker for the Ryzen CPU and the GPU. Sa baba, we have an indicator that this laptop is bundled with a free MS Office, home and student software. And dito sa kanan, yung mga features ng laptop na gustong ibida ng Asus. One thing I really like about this laptop is its sleek and lightweight construction. Gaya ng sabi ko kanina, OLED screens are much thinner at mas magaan compared to LED or LCD screens. Kaya very ideal siya sa mga portable devices. With only 1.55 kilograms in weight and 17.9 millimeter in thickness. Think justified yung Go na part sa kanyang pangalan because you'd be able to carry this everyday without getting shoulder or back pain issues. About its other dimensions, it has a 14.3 inch in width, 9.4 inch in depth, and a maximum of 180-degree hinge angle. So, for ports, we're getting an HDMI, a 3.2 USB, a 3.2 USB-C, syempre isang audio combo jack, tapos sa kaliwa ay nag-iisang 2.0 USB. It's not much since this is a pretty tiny laptop, but enough to get us going. Ang weird nga lang na most ports are placed on the side where people would usually use the mouse, kaya ang awkward nito gamitin pag marami ng peripherals ang nakasaksak. Let's take a look at what's inside. To open the bottom panel, we need to remove 10 flathead screws, all of which are exposed at walang nakatago sa ilalim ng warranty sticker. A bit of work with a pick tool and bam, we're inside. I don't see any slots for an extra RAM module at yung 8GB na meron siya ay nakasolder na sa board. Wala ring extra slot for another storage, so you need to take this one out and reinstall your OS and basically copy everything to your new SSD. I swear it is prestigious as is sound. Well, we can't really do much about that. Let's talk about something else instead. I'm glad to see na may Wi-Fi 6E card sa board. So, it is the latest Wi-Fi standard out there. Kaya it should give you faster connections with lower latencies. Para sa battery, we have a 50-watt-hour lipopolymer battery pack, which is quite average for a small laptop. So with all of that out of the way, let's talk about the performance. To meet the budget price point of this OLED laptop, they opted to use a lower-end Ryzen CPU. So the Ryzen 5 7520 series CPU has 4 cores, 8 threads, base frequency of 2.8 GHz, and base TDP of 15 watts. Truthfully speaking, its power and performance doesn't compare to the current Intel CPUs na nakalagay ngayon sa ibang laptops on the similar price bracket. However, that doesn't mean that it's going to underperform or just simply crash after opening multiple tabs on whichever browser you use. With the current configuration, it would still run smooth and responsive as any other basic laptop, so you'll still be able to work on those spreadsheets or documents while running Spotify or YouTube in the background, while also pulling out multiple tabs on your browser without any hiccups. For digital content creation like photo or video editing, medyo limited lang yung magagawa mo sa kanya, but yes, you can still very much use this for some quick color grading and retouches. Pwede rin siya mag-render ng short 1080p videos as long as you don't mind a longer rendering time. I'm sure some of you are wondering kung pwede ka pa maglaro dito. Technically, yes, pero as long as you keep it casual. Okay, so hindi siya advisable for competitive matches, especially kung CPU-reliant yung laro like Valo. So, same thing goes to AAA games since wala naman siyang GPU. If you really wanna game on it, it might be a good time to fall in love with some retro indie games. Another merit that this configuration has is hindi siya ganun katakaw sa battery. Tinest namin siya by playing a YouTube video for the first 4 hours on 50% brightness and 50% volume, and then using it as my work laptop for the rest of the day. Natapos na lang yung 10 hours, nasa around 30% pa rin yung natitirang charge sa kanyang battery. It might not be the longest, but it is far better than most laptops on the same price bracket. Speaking of battery, Asus also says that this supports fast charging with its 65-watt power brick, and promises 60% charge within 49 minutes from a low battery. Moving on sa display, I don't think OLED requires that much explanation. The color reproduction is amazingly vibrant. Everything looks so alive na mukhang lalabas na yung picture sa screen. It also has a superior viewing angle, so kahit anong angulo ka tumingin, you'd still be able to see a clear image. Another benefit from OLED is that they emit lower blue light than LCDs, kaya very ideal siya for those na laging babad sa screen doing documents and Excels. Furthermore, let's say you want to color grade a video for a film project or edit an image for internet consumption, you can actually change display color profile on the My Asus app based on your requirements. The display is configured at 60 Hz and goes up to 600 nits of screen brightness, kaya visible pa rin siya kahit nasa outdoors shaded use. If you're concerned naman sa burn-ins, mas mababa na yung risk niya ngayon compared sa older OLEDs thanks to several improvements made to the technology throughout the years. Also, medyo high risk lang siya if there's a constant high contrast static image on the screen, like a logo, which I doubt this laptop would have to experience. Moving on to its other built-in peripherals, here's a demo of the camera and the microphone. The camera has 720p resolution on 30 FPS, and I think I'd prefer to get an external camera to improve the picture quality. Pero kung wala, eto na yun. So, yung audio naman naririnig nyo is from the microphone, and unlike the camera, mas maayos yung quality niya. For me, at least. There's no doubt that the OLED screen is a huge upgrade compared to other laptops at the same price range. Normally, you'd get something that has poor contrast, low color gamut, and narrow viewing angles. The CPU choice is fine, pero yung 8GB RAM, 8GB DDR5 RAM niya, I think marami magsasabi sa'yo na 8GB is not enough ngayon 2023. Which I kinda agree with, lalo na kung nasa 37,000 yung laptop. Also, hindi nila siya ginawang upgradable, which is kind of faux pas sa isang laptop ngayon. SSD, I can kind of forgive, pero overall, I think the demographic that will mostly enjoy this laptop are the cinephiles who would like to take their hobby on the road. I think babagay din to as mobile workstations ng mga photographers, lalo na yung mga nagsushoot outdoor for some quick color grading and skin retouching. Also, for anyone who's learning digital art, sobrang magagamit mo yung 100% DCI P3 color gamut netong screen na to. So again, let's talk about the price. This laptop retails for 42,000 pesos SRP. Pero kay UniPC, available lang siya for 36,999 or 37,000 pesos. Again, for the freebies, may kasama na tong MS Office software, home and student, and a backpack from Asus. Tapos, 32GB flash drive or 64GB flash drive from us. Confirm na lang natin yan sa description. So that's it for today's review. Again, I'm Kea from UniPC, where affordability meets the quality.